Coming to you from behind the craziest socialist lines of the Pacific Northwest, local and national news, talk, and opinions, this is the Behind the Line podcast.
So you thought Jay Inslee's done everything he can do to force vaccinations on people. He forced it on all state employees. King County followed suit and forced it on all King County employees. Seattle followed suit, forced it on Seattle government employees. Well, he's not satisfied with just going after the government employees in this state. In a report by the Seattle Times, he told a reporter there that he's contemplating going after private businesses now in the state of Washington and forcing private businesses to force their employees to be vaccinated as well. And if that wasn't enough, he also wants to force kids to get vaccinated in order to go to school. His vaccine mandate for large events went into effect today. That's concerts and sporting events. I think it's any event with more than 500 people, you've got to be vaccinated or show proof of a negative COVID test within 72 hours. Now, some Seattle sporting teams, sport events, specifically the Kraken, the test is not good enough for them. No, you've got to be vaccinated to go see them play their crappy hockey. So, when does this end? When has he decided that he's done enough, put us under enough of his control to be satisfied? Washington is already one of the most regulated states when it comes to these vaccine mandates and mask mandates and all these other little rules that have gone along with all this garbage. We're over 600 days into the reign of Jay Inslee under this emergency order. 2 weeks to flatten the curve has turned into over 600 days of him having complete and ultimate power in the state of Washington. Our representatives have no say-so, and our representatives have been completely ineffective on sticking up for any of us, other than people that want to get the shot. They've done nothing to protect all these people who have lost their jobs. And now if he goes after private business and these representatives allow this to happen, it shouldn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. If you're going to start implementing rules like this on private business, there is a major problem. You've already seen the results that these mandates have had on state services after he promised it's not going to affect state services at all. You've got a ferry system that's running at 40-something%. You've got entire Department of Transportation shops that quit, and now they're telling us they don't know if the roads are going to be maintained during the winter, and they don't even count, the people who retired, people who retired early in order to not comply with his vaccine mandate. It's ridiculous. And then, in the city of Seattle, you've got this shortage of law enforcement officers where they're having to pay people, $25,000 a hiring bonus to lateral back to the department, $10,000 if you're brand new. And that goes with 911 as well. And Seattle Fire Department's got shortages. The news doesn't like to talk about it, but they try to say that they already had these staffing shortages. That is a load of crap. This is all caused from these ridiculous mandates. Bill Gates himself said it. These vaccines do not stop you from transmitting or catching COVID. So why does it matter if you're vaccinated and I'm not? You're protected. My vaccine status has nothing to do with whether or not your vaccine works or not. If these mandates get put on state, throughout the state on private business, you are going to see an incredible amount of disruption. You're going to see businesses going out of business. How much more can our economy take? This is at a time when he's trying to raise taxes on us, and now he's going to slam these businesses with this regulation that who knows how many people are not going to want to comply with. We already have worker shortages everywhere. People don't want to go back to work as it is because of all the government money that's being thrown around. You've got all these, service-based businesses that can't find anybody to work. Now you're going to put a vaccine mandate on the people who are still willing to come to work and see how many of them quit. It baffles me how this guy comes up with these brilliant ideas and what he thinks the long-term effect is going to be. As far as vaccinating our kids goes, yes, there are vaccines that schools require kids to have if they want to play sports or whatever. You know what? Those vaccines have been around for a long time and they are time tested. This vaccine is not. No matter what you try to say, these mRNA vaccines are not tested. One of the FDA panel doctors said himself that we don't know what these things will do to kids until we start giving it to them. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't know how you feel about your kids, but mine are not guinea pigs for Jay Inslee. And that outdoor vaccine mandate that went into effect today is for outdoor events, large events, the vaccine mandates. So outdoor events of 10,000 or more and indoor events of 1,000 or more, you have to be vaccinated or show a negative COVID test, unless you're the Seattle Kraken, and then you got to be just vaccinated. I don't know who wants to watch them anyway. I'm sure Jay Inslee sees this stuff going on in Austria and is trying to figure out how we can do it here. Austria today started a lockdown for unvaccinated people. So if you're, and that affects about 2 million people in that country. I'm sure he would love to do that here in Washington. Round all us unvaccinated people up and lock us back down again. At what point do the courts or the state attorney general or our representatives or somebody tell this sociopathic, narcissistic governor of ours that he is not the king and does not have this kind of control over private business, and enough is enough? This has gone on long enough. You're not going to change anything at this point. It doesn't matter if these people, if he tries to get another 10 or 15% of these people to get vaccinated, it's not going to change anything. You still carry, you still get sick. What is he trying to accomplish? COVID's not going anywhere. This is going to be around like the flu. These vaccines are not going to eradicate COVID. It's still going to be here. So what's it going to be? Endless booster shots? You know they're going to have yearly shots for this thing, just like they do the flu. But what, are they going to force you to get the yearly booster or shot in order to keep your job, or in order to leave your house, or to go out to dinner or go to a concert? I mean, at what point does this end? In Jay Inslee's mind, never. Even though, he's Tom Brady and won the Super Bowl because he's the quarterback. He's the only guy in Washington that can save everybody. This guy's ego is bigger than the entire west coast of the United States. They always like to tell you that you have to give up a little bit of your freedom in order to be safe or protect others. This is all about protecting others, protecting grandma and grandpa and all that garbage. And the fact is, if you start giving up your rights, then they just keep taking and taking and taking. And you can see that clearly in this situation. It's just one thing after the next. Now you got to do this. Now you got to do this. If you just do this, we can get back to normal. We can get back to this, get back to that, stop wearing masks. That's all a big lie. And the fact is, a lot of us have just been living like normal through this whole thing. Still going places, still doing things. I don't create a disturbance or throw a fit about the mask mandate, because in my mind, it's not the business's fault that they have to enforce that mandate, and with these ridiculous fines that LNI's put on these businesses, what choice do they have, to get thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines? I've owned a business for many years. I don't agree with them being put in that position. So if they want you to wear a mask, then I'll wear it. But when I get in there, if I see most of the people are not, or the business doesn't care, it comes off. But it's just, at what point is enough enough? I don't think the masks are going away anytime soon here. He's going to make those stay no matter what, regardless of the vaccination thing, because at some point they're going to have to admit that a lot of these people in the hospital are vaccinated. I know right now they like to say nobody in the hospital is vaccinated, and that's a lie. Because I know people who have had family members die at the hospital who were fully vaccinated. And I've seen articles in the newspaper. There was a commissioner in Lewis County who died that was fully vaccinated. So, they can tell these little lies, get these nurses and doctors on there who are willing to lie about what's really going on. But at some point, when he's got, his maximum percentage of people vaccinated, he's going to have to admit that vaccinated people are getting sick and dying in order to continue this reign of authority that he's put on the state. Because otherwise, at some point, once he gets his magic number of vaccinations, then what reason would there be for him to continue to say this is an emergency? It's just really sad to see in this state how many people have willfully bent over and gone along with all of this ridiculousness, and just believe everything that comes out of the governor's mouth, even though he's lied repeatedly, not just during this, but during his entire tenure as governor. I mean, look at all the lies he's told about taxes, and look at the lies that he tells his own party. In this environmental package that he passed, he got the one swing vote Democrat to vote for it because he agreed to put a line in that bill that would allow certain companies to choose what kind of fuel or something they were going to use. And he got the Democrat to sign off on it, and then he vetoed that one line of the bill. That is just a dishonest, evil way to act. How can you trust a guy a politician that runs his government that way? And by the way, the court found that that was not legal for him to do. And he probably knew that, But these Democrats just knowingly break the law, bend the law, do whatever they want because they're power hungry, power drunk. Anyway, private business and school kids, that's the next target on Inslee's list. It's just about time that we speak up and really start pushing back on this crap. It's gone on long enough. 600 plus days, folks. End it. Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Behind the Line podcast at behindthelinepodcast.com. If you liked this, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook at Behind the Line WA. You can find us on Twitter at Behind WA. You can also find us on Telegram and LinkedIn at Behind the Line. And I'm on Rumble. Thanks again for listening, and I appreciate your support.